Hello universe, welcome to this yoga class. My name is Alex and today's session is going to be a gentle Vinyasa flow to get your body moving a little, waking it up so it's perfect for the morning or the end of the day. We're going to start in a seated position. So roll out your mat and I'll see you there. So find a comfortable seated position, cross-legged. You might want to sit on top of a block or a blanket if you have, just to elevate your hips a little and so you're able to sit with a more neutral spine if you have tight hips. Then relax your hands on top of your knees. You can either turn your palms down if you feel the need to ground yourself, or maybe turn them up towards the sky if you feel the need to open yourself up for receiving. Then let's take one deep inhale, lengthening the spine through the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, slowly close your eyes, relax your shoulders, relax your abdominals, keep the length in your spine, and start to notice the weight of your body. Notice those different points of contact between your body and whatever you're sitting on. Become aware of the position of your body. And then noticing if there are any particular strong sensations in the body right now. It might be something more physical, like tension, some discomfort. Or it could be something a little bit more emotional. Like feeling heaviness or lightness. Observing without criticizing. And slowly bring your awareness to your breath without changing it in any way. Start to notice how every inhale expands your body. And every exhale gives you the permission to relax a little more. Just following every inhale, every exhale, without forcing anything. And so whenever you're noticing that your mind is drifting, it's completely normal and inevitable. Bring your mind back to your breath. Then shift your awareness to the palm of your hands. And from here, bring your hands in front of your heart, connecting palm to palm. If you have an intention for your day, this is a good moment to repeat it mentally. Then we're slowly going to start to reach your arms up, palms still connected. You can also blink your eyes open as you reach up. Taking a big inhale. And then as you exhale, draw a big circle around your body. You might want to circle your hands down. Then inhale, lift and reach up. Exhale, draw that big circle around your body again. Let's do one more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhaling down. Now let your left hand stay on the ground and inhale, reach your right arm up, lengthen your spine. And then as you exhale, lean over to the left. You might want to bend a little. Inhale, turn your chest up towards the ceiling. Lower your left shoulder, and you have two options. You can either bend the left elbow towards the body, or you can walk the hand further away from you. Keep breathing. And then as you inhale, reach up to center. Exhale, lower your right hand down to the mat. Inhale, reach your left arm up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale, open your chest up towards the ceiling. Choose the variation with your right arm here. And you want to stay grounded with your left glute. Next inhale, reach up to center. Exhale, lower your left hand down on the mat. From here, we're gonna interlace our fingers behind our back and inhale, open up the chest, lower your arms, lower your shoulders. Maybe lift your gaze a little, draw your navel in so that you're not just throwing your belly and your back forward. No need to overdo it, especially in the beginning of a yoga class. Taking it easy, giving the body some time to open up and warm up. As you exhale, keep your fingers interlaced and bring your hands on the right waist. Now turn your elbow back, relax the right shoulder, And just gently lower your right ear towards the shoulder without pulling or pushing. You might want to turn your head gently, so the face towards the shoulder and then the ear back to the shoulder. Continuing to moving your head this way, and see if you find a more delicate spot where you have some tension. Then you might want to stay there. Breathing deeply. Inhale, lift your head up to center, reach your arms back, and exhale. Take your hands to the left waist, elbow back, shoulder relaxed, ear towards the shoulder. Maybe starting to move your head a little. Notice the differences between the two sides. And then again, if you find that sensible spot, you're welcome to stay there. And it might not be exactly the same as on the other side. And then next inhale, lift your head up to center, reach your arms back. And then exhale, release your arms, take your hands in front of you and walk them forward. Bow your head. You don't have to go all the way to your limit. Feel the body. Notice what it needs right now in this moment. Does it need to stay here in stillness? Or do you want some movement? You can wave your body a little side to side. Coming back to center, starting to walk your hands back as you lengthen your spine up to center again. From here, we're going to come into a tabletop position. Make sure that your shoulders are above your wrists, your hips are above your knees. And you want to be strong in your shoulders, so without collapsing into them. Next inhale, you're going to open up the chest, move your shoulders back, look forward. And as you exhale, push the mat away as much as you can with your shoulders, head turns down. Inhale again, opening up the chest, maybe bending the elbows, somewhat turning them back. And then exhale, rounding the upper back. Follow your own breath and make it a challenge to see how slow you can go. Starting to really connect the breath with the movements here. Keep a steady flow. One last time. Inhale to open up the heart. Exhale, pushing the mat away from you. Next inhale, come to a neutral spine. Inhale, the left leg back. Flex the foot, turn the toes down. And ideally, you want to keep the heel at the same height as your hips. Try not to lift it higher. Really draw your navel in towards the spine. And when you're ready, inhale the right arm forward. So there are a lot of details to this pose. I just mentioned a few of them. It's one of those poses that look easy, but if we do engage and keep alignment, it's not the easiest pose. As you exhale, place your right hand underneath the shoulder and the left toes on the right side of the mat. Then from here, walk the left fingers forward and then walk them to the right. You might want to look back towards the left toes, towards the left foot. It doesn't matter if you can see it or not. Try to keep the right shoulder right above the hand, above the wrist. Then gently turn your gaze forward again and start to walk your left hand back to where it was. Lift your left leg, point your right toes, and see if from here you can enter a three-legged dog. It's okay to keep your right heel lifted and your leg bent. You might want to bend the left leg, so heel towards the glute, and start to draw some really big circles with the left knee. Take your time to draw these circles. Then change direction. Inhale to lengthen the left leg once more. And then exhale, step through, so bring the left foot to the inside of the left hand. You can give it a hand if you need to. Make sure to have the left knee right above the ankle and move the right knee back. Relax the top of the foot. If you have some blocks, you might want to take them underneath your hands, but it's completely okay to stay with your hands directly on the mat. Maybe you rise up onto your fingertips like I'm doing, for something in between. So Anjaneyasana, we are trying to relax the area of our hips. Try not to drop your head. And stay with the sensations in your body. Notice whatever comes up. Then from here, we're going to exhale, shift the weight, our hips back as we walk the hands back, flex the left foot. Keep your spine long, so lift the tailbone here, avoid rounding the spine, and it's okay if the left leg doesn't lengthen all the way. If you have blocks or a chair or something else nearby, you're welcome to take your hands on top of that. Draw the left hip back. Next inhale, come back forward, bending the left knee. Point the right toes. Take the left hand to the inside of the foot. Lift the right knee and then sit on top of the left heel, turning to the right. You can either stay with your hands on the mat or play with the pose. See if you can lift them a couple of inches or centimeters off of the mat, maybe taking your hands all the way to prayers in front of your heart. Gently exhale, hands back to the mat. As you inhale, lengthen your left leg, turn your feet parallel, lengthen your spine, your arms, and exhale, bend forward. If you have the space behind your legs, you can walk your hands behind you and kind of push the mat a little bit forward. You can also keep your knees bent if you need to. Relax your head. And then gently walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen the spine, the arms. And then walk your hands forward as you bend the left leg. From here, step it back to downward facing dog, bending the legs as you enter the dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, lower the knees down. Back to tabletop. Find your alignment, engage the pose, and as you inhale, reach the right leg back, flexing the foot, toes pointing down. Trying to feel the pose, your alignment from inside. Trying to leveling the hips. It's easy to open up the side of the lifted leg. Engage your core and engage and lengthen your left arm forward. Next exhale, bring your hand back down underneath the shoulder and the right toes on the left side of the mat. Then start to walk your right fingertips forward and then walk them a little bit to the left. Maybe gazing back towards the right foot, even if you don't see it. So don't shift the weight to the left. Then turn your gaze forward again and walk the right hand back to where it was. Lift the right leg here. Point the left toes and see if you can enter a three-legged dog from here. Maybe bending the left leg or lifting the heel. We're gonna bend the right leg so the heel towards the glute and draw some big circles with our knee. Changing direction. Then inhale, lengthen the leg once more, and exhale, step it through. Vinyasa. Maybe take your blocks here or stay directly on the mat. And then just let your hips melt down towards the earth as you are the observer of everything that's happening on the inside. Whether it's inside your body or your mind. Is there a way for you to stay here with the discomfort? Can you soften the areas where you feel tension. Exhale, move your hips back, flex the right foot and walk your hands back too. Use the blocks if you have. It's okay if the right leg doesn't lengthen. Just remember the length of the spine. I like to think of guiding with the heart instead of with the head here. It's easy to just think that we want to reach the forehead to the leg. But if we think of bringing the heart forward, it creates that openness in the chest, the broadness in the collarbones, which helps to keep the length in the spine. Next time you inhale, bend the right leg again. Point the left toes and move the right hand to the inside of the foot. Then turn to the left, sit on top of the heel, or maybe come all the way down with the sole of the foot on the mat. Try to do the same variation you did on the other side, and then see if you can play a little bit with your balance. Maybe just staying here, hovering your hands above the floor, or bringing your hands all the way in front of your heart. So feet and wrists are something we often neglect in our practice, but is just as much important as the rest of our body to take care of. And this is one of those poses that our feet are really happy to practice. Maybe not in the moment, but in time, since we are really often boxing up our feet and toes in shoes. We're setting them a little bit more free and activating our toes and feet here. Gently bring your hands back down onto the mat. As you inhale, lengthen both legs. Bring your feet parallel, hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale again to lengthen your spine and your arms. And this time, as you exhale, you might want to bend your knees or use a couple of blocks underneath your hands. Walk your hands forward at a distance of your shoulders. You want to be able to keep a long and neutral spine here. Imagining that you're pushing the floor away with your hands. The weight is still on your feet. It's starting to get a bit windy here. Hopefully you can still hear me. Then we're gonna gently walk the hands back underneath the shoulders again, lengthening the spine as you inhale, and then exhale, walk the hands forward as you bend the right leg. Really ground your hands here and step the right leg back, entering downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, place your knees on the ground. And we're gonna come all the way down onto our forearms here. Connect your palms of your hands and start to walk your knees back, lifting your hands. Gently squeeze your elbows to the midline or to one towards the other. It's okay to relax the forehead down on the ground. Maybe place a blanket or a block underneath your forehead if that's more comfortable for you. Let your chest melt down towards the mat. And your knees are more or less underneath your hips. Start to press your elbows down so you can lift your gaze, shift the weight forward gently, walk the knees forward. You can, for a moment, sit on top of your heels so that you can bring the legs in front of you. So bend your knees. We're going to connect the sole of our feet. And we want to some distance here. So if you were to fold yourself forward, your face would more or less fall onto your feet. We're going to start with the hands behind us. Push the fingertips into the mat, lengthen your spine as you inhale, and then exhale, use your arms to lean forward. From here you can bring your hands in front of you, relax your whole body, and you can start to relax your head, your shoulders, your back. You want to move really slowly here, and try not to hold a grip of your feet in this variation. I like the suggestion of turning the palm of the hands up towards the ceiling. Helps with letting go. Bring some awareness to your hips. See if there's something else there you can let go of. There's a way for you to soften just slightly more than you're already doing. Breathing deeply, avoiding to move too much in this pose. Finding that spot where you are feeling something, but it's not so much that you just have to get out of the pose. You might even want to kind of scan your body mentally for anything else you can soften in your body. Might be your face or your shoulders. Or basically anywhere in the body. Two more breaths here. And then we want to move really slowly when we get out of the pose. So start with lifting your head. Bring your hands down. And use the strength of your arms to gently push yourself up as you're still relaxed in your legs. Move really slowly here. Lengthen your spine as you sit up tall. And maybe use your hands to connect your knees again. From here we want to create a little bit of movement in the legs. So you can just take the hands behind you and start to gently kick into the air. Just to create some movement, bringing some circulation back into the joints, into the muscles. And then from here, bring your hands on your knees for a moment. Inhale, lift and reach tall through the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, start to roll down vertebra per vertebra. See how slow you can go. Engage your core. See if you can make it through a count of 3, 2, 1, and then all the way down. Keep your legs bent, maybe walk your feet slightly closer to you. Try to keep your feet hip width apart. And your arms alongside the body, palms facing down. Walk your shoulder blades underneath you. And then with an inhale, lift your pelvis up. Imagine that you're kicking the mat forward with your feet, bringing some arch in your higher back. Avoid distancing your knees, so fire up your inner thighs. And even press your hands gently onto the mat. And breathe. Trying to relax your glutes. And exhale, you might want to roll vertebra per vertebra as you lay down. Knees comes to the chest, give yourself a hug. And if you find it comfortable, you might want to roll gently from side to side, massaging your back. And find a comfortable position in Shavasana. Lengthen your legs. Bring your arms to the side of your body with the palms facing up, or you can just place one hand on the belly and the other one on the chest, making sure that the elbows are on the floor. Either way is fine here. And then let's take one last big inhale, filling up your lungs. Hold the breath. Then open up your mouth, gently let the air out, and close your eyes. Let go of everything. Come back to a completely natural breath. Let your body melt down, becoming heavier and heavier with every exhale. Gently bring some awareness back to your body by noticing those different points of contact between the body and the earth. You might notice the sounds in your environment, the temperature of the air on your skin. start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Bend your legs and roll onto the right side of your body for a moment. Keep your eyes closed if you can. Use your left hand to push yourself up into a seated position. Connecting the palm of our hands in front of the heart. Notice the sensation of being a little bit more present and relaxed. And maybe your intention could be to bring this sensation with you throughout your day. Or you can set your own. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.